Hey y'all, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the 4 journals that I have right now and how 2 of them were a massive failure. How one of them was a little bit of a success and how I'm going to remedy that in the future. Okay, so let's start with the biggest failure of them all. well, Okay, let's start with this one, which is the one of the biggest failures. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I did post a video about my 2024 fitness journal, and it was going to be starting in quarter 3. I had all of these beautiful pages, but the problem is I never got back to it. Look at how beautiful these pages are. I wish that I could take these pages out and put them in another bullet journal, which is what we'll talk about, but look at how beautiful these pages are and how well they turned out. I just I started off okay back in July. This is last year, mind you. Okay, so as y'all can see, I started off okay in July. This was last year, mind you, right? And then nothing. So I didn't fill in August at all, or September, October, nothing like that. And I just decided in the past few months, see, I even did September. This was for last year, mind you, September 2024. I filled this in, and look how pretty it looks. This is so nice that I do want to cut it out and put it in another journal, but I haven't figured out a way to do that so cleanly yet. So instead of doing that, I decided to just leave it as like a template, and I can always flip back to this template for what I'm going to be doing in my next journal, which I'll talk to you guys about in just a minute. But I just decided to make this journal whatever I want. So I have a I wouldn't call this necessarily a junk journal page. Maybe it's a scrapbooking page. I don't know. But it is a collage. I know that for sure. And I decided I was just going to let September 2025 be my fresh start in this journal. And this is just going to be my diary journal. And anything that I need to blur out, I will. But this is pretty much what I've been doing in this journal. I just turned it into a daily journal where I'm just exploring patterns and collages. I'm exploring washi tape placements, pictures and ephemera placements, and then some pages I just write and get my thoughts out. The problem is I have so many pages where I thought I wanted to be a bullet journal girly that I don't know what to do with these. I can't really use them because the monthly spread is off. This is not what it would look like in 2025. I did do some things, like you can see, I filled in my December moods, but I just didn't complete the setup, which makes me sad. But at the same time, it's also a very good tip. Learn what works for me, learn what works for you. Think about this time of the year. Was I overwhelmed? Did I have a lot of things to do? Why didn't I complete the setup, even though I tried to make it as simple as possible? And then I have this journal entry right here that I am going to use. So when I come to you guys next with this purple journal, I'm going to let you know what I decided. Did I decide to glue them all together or what? I don't know, but that's the cap on my purple journal that started out as a fitness journal, tried to be a bullet journal, but didn't quite make it. Next, let's talk about this journal right here that started out as a weight loss journal. I had everything mapped out here for my quarterly goals and things like that, but it didn't quite come to pass. Now, this all started back in June of last year. As you can see, there is a pattern. So this all started back in June of last year, and I thought this was going to be the bullet journal that I needed it to be. And it was not. So then I tried to change it to a weight loss journal, and it didn't work. So much so that I tore out these pages right here. Look at how pretty. Look at how cute these are. I tore these out. Look at this one. I spent so much time trying to break this up into the specific pieces to say I lost 50 pounds. I even have my milestone awards. I did so much for this journal and it just did not come to pass. I even was going to keep going for July. I have the exact same setup for all of my progress tracking. So like my week 1 through week 4, number of days I have cardio, number of days I stay below my calorie deficit, and the number of days that I drink the amount of water I say I want to drink. Then I have a mid-month check-in. I have adjustments. I keep going with weeks 3 and 4. I have a dashboard showing my current weight, my measurements, and then at the bottom I have my favorite meals. As you can see, I did that. As you can see, I did that in my purple journal as well. It stays the same. I really, really like this setup. The problem is if this setup is in a journal that I don't open frequently, I am not inclined to open it up just to track my progress once a week or however many times it takes. I even tried to put in my other journal habits, like my mood tracker and my habit tracker, to help with that, but it didn't work. So I decided I was going to take out my quarter 3 goals and all of the pages, like my quarterly pages. I decided I was going to take all of those out and I'm going to stick them into the journal that makes the most sense. Now, I am going to have to change all of these dates, which that's fine, but honestly, I just don't want to have to redo this. And I don't want to have to redo this. Well, that's fine. I just don't want to have to redo this right here. This took a long time. So I I'm gonna keep these few pages right here and then I'm gonna stick them in another journal. What I learned about this journal specifically is that out of sight, out of mind. If these pages are out of my sight, like my habit trackers for my 30 minutes of cardio, my Pilates, my water, my vegetables, and my exercise, if all of these beautiful habit trackers and these well intentioned habit trackers are out of sight, I won't be thinking about them. So I have learned to put these types of trackers that are important to me in journals that I'm going to open every single day. So that is the lowdown on this journal right here. I don't know what I should do with it in the meantime. If y'all have any questions, I don't know what I should do with this journal in the meantime. If y'all have any suggestions, please let me know. But just like the other journal, I have so many pages that are just like, they're kind of trash now. I don't know what to do. Should I erase them, put them on, and put on something else? I'm not sure. Should I make this a prayer journal? I'm not sure, but that is this journal right here. Let's move on to the journal that was a success. So my reading journal is somewhat of a success. I have my title page here, I have my name page and then the title page of my grid spacing, which I don't use that much. This portion down here is not really a success because I didn't like the way it was turning out when I first wrote on it, and I just didn't go back to change it. This is a collage because I didn't know what else to do with this page. I have my context and my index, but my most valuable spread, the spread that I love the most, is the spread that is going to include all of the books that I read in 2025. I'm very excited to finish the spread. I love it. So in my next reading journal, this is a spread that I will absolutely include. Oh, got a little loose sticker. This spread right here, definitely not going to include. This one is okay. I wish I just, again, it's one of those out of sight, out of mind things. Maybe I should like set a timer or a reminder so I can go in and do this. I haven't filled it out since July and it is almost October. Oh, that just means I haven't done 2 months, I guess. The DNF Graveyard, you love it. This next page, what is this? Oh, my alphabet challenge. I've been doing this with my Patreon and some things on this channel as well, but I do like this spread and I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see how much I finish by the end of the year. And I will be doing updates on this spread as well. I'm going to have an entire video about how I use this bracket system to figure out what my favorite book of 2025 is, as well as this system right here to figure out what my top book is. So in this system, it's very different from this one, right? So depending on what books I pit up against each other, that determines what books will end up in the final brackets. However, with this system, I have 1 through 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 12 books and I make them go up against each other. So A versus D, I put like which one wins. Did I like Monday's Not Coming, or did I like whatever book is next on D? Which one did I like first? So this allows me to pit every single book against each other, write down which one won, and then get the total points. So I have Monday's Not Coming versus Beyond Beautiful Love, or excuse me, Beautiful Broken Love. Monday's Not Coming versus Beautiful Broken Love, and I say, well, which one is better? And then I say Monday's Not Coming versus The Deep by River Solomon. And then for this one, B against F, I'm able to say, okay, which one is better, The Deep or All the Sinners Bleed? Which one is better? So this way, every single book gets a fair shot, and then I'm able to say, well, Monday's Not Coming got 6 votes, The Deep got 3 votes, and I can go and rank them depending on how many votes they got. And then I will be able to say officially which book is my favorite. I love this. I can't wait to do this for you guys at the end of the year. Can't wait to see which book is my absolute favorite. So yeah, I'm very excited about that one. Now, I don't know what this blank page was supposed to be. This is why this notebook, or excuse me, this is why this journal is somewhat of a success and somewhat of a fail, because what was this supposed to be? I have no idea. It's just wasted space. I did complete my January spreads and I was so excited. The only thing is, these spreads were completed late. I didn't post or I didn't paste all of these in here until later on in the game. And then I didn't fill this side out. I didn't fill this out either. So one thing I learned about my reading journal is it is very in the moment. If I am able to if I'm able to paste all of these things in as they come about, it would be very beneficial. So if I could just plop these down and glue them in as I read them, it's very beneficial. However, I don't think I did this until months later. So obviously it's not happening the way I want it to happen. And then my reading journal should be very flexible, because as I thought I was going to read this many books, and I did, but I thought I was going to do something a little more structured when it came to reviewing the books, and it wasn't that structured. So that leaves an entire page of what could have been. Could have, would have, should have. Okay. Same thing with this page. Actually, this page I really like. I just wish I would have filled it out. So then I have all of these pages of calendars. I saw somebody do this in their reading journal. I saw somebody do that in their reading journal, and I like it, but I don't know if I want to keep it because I didn't use it. And what's the point of having this in my reading journal if I have a bullet journal? So then I have all of these pages of notes and thoughts on books, and I feel like this is the essence of a bullet journal. Like, this is what I should be doing. I should be taking notes and enjoying my reading and relaying my experience into my journal. That's what it should be. I'm very excited about these pages because even though they're not that decorative, they are exactly what I want. I have questions for myself. I have things that I want to remember and things that I love. I talk about my star rating, and it's not that pretty, but it's exactly what I want. So this page right here, this page was done in time for April. This page right here was done way later, and maybe like July or August. So I set this page up very, very nicely, but this collage was done very late. So again, I'm learning with my reading journal, I'm very late on updating my journal. I'm very late on putting everything together in a concise form and fashion. However, I love this page. So one thing I'm thinking about myself is that maybe I should set aside some time at the end of the month or even at the beginning of the next month to get together my thoughts and feelings of these books. Okay, these are some more pages of just me rambling and talking about the books that I've read. I have some plans in here, some social media plans that didn't go how they were supposed. Hey y'all, I'm so sorry, but my mic cut out for the rest of the video, so I'm just going to do a voiceover. However, what I'm saying, I believe, is that I had a lot of plans in this journal that didn't come to pass, and I had a lot of ramblings and a lot of notes on the books that I had read in the months before June, in May. Since that comes before June. Now I'm probably describing to you guys how this calendar right here works a little bit better because it's smaller and I don't have to use up so many pages with it. I am also using this small little bitty calendar right here to track how long it takes me to read every book. That's why it is color coded. At the bottom there, I have my June TBR, the books I anticipate I want to read. And again, here I am pointing out how long it took me to read each book. If I overlapped, if I was reading books at a certain time. I think this works better for me because it takes up less space and I can clearly see the use for it. The next spread I want to talk about is the Riley Sager spread. If you don't know, I have an entire video where I break down all 9 of Riley Sager's published books and I rank them. In this spread, I rank them, I order them, I tell myself what I like about them, and I just give 2 pages to what I felt about Riley Sager since I spent so much time reading that man's books. I would love to do something like this in the future because I love how I broke down this 2-page spread and I think it turned out pretty cute. So let's talk about the next spreads. So here we have my monthly spreads that I kind of flipped through. They weren't completed, so I didn't show you guys. But then I have some plans out for September laid out right there on the left. And I think right here, I'm just telling you guys what I want to keep. I want to keep my monthly spreads like I have right there. I want to keep the small calendar, and I want to keep a page for all of the book club books that I will be reading, which is right there on the right. As you can see at the top, it says book club reads. So overall, this journal is a pretty good success. I mean, I still write in it frequently. I keep updating it. And now I know what works for me in this reading journal. So given all the things we've gone over in this video, this is going to be my new journal. And I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of it. I've already started to sketch everything out. I have a plan of what I wanted to say. I've even started to use it for the end of September. I'm excited to go ahead and set it up for you guys because right now I'm procrastinating and I'm not able to do my October setup yet because I don't want to get too far ahead, but trust, it is already sketched out. So I am, like I said, very excited to get into this journal. So come on back so you can see how I set this up, what I use, the color scheme, all the things. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.